Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Dumbass Podcast. I am Winter.
I am Zach, Gold Pikmin.
And I am Glitchmaster Fade.
Now, hold the phone. We're doing another one of these? Wow. On March 9th, this podcast, the last episode we did, the We Could Catch Bigfoot episode, turned a year old. And it's been a damn good while since we've been able to do one of these.
Yeah, so I guess officially welcome to Season 3.
Yeah, pretty much at this point. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, but before, I'm going to be honest with you folks, this is basically just Small Talk, the episode part 2.
Except the general theme, at least for the start of it, is going to be, where the fuck are we now?
Yeah.
Where the hell have we been for the past year or so?
A lot has happened, like, genuinely. So who wants to start us off here? Well, we'll do Small Talk first, right. I know right before we started doing this, we're at my place right now, and then we just watched the FNAF movie, and that was Nate's first time watching that.
Oh, yeah.
I was like it was definitely an exhilarating experience of mine.
That's probably about the 100th time I've watched it, though, if I'm being completely honest.
It would be the second time for me. Yeah, so, and for anyone who knows, like, all of our channels, that's probably going to be weird coming from me. Like, the guy whose channel is basically, like, 50% FNAF videos.
Who's only seen the movie twice.
Is like, god damn, if anyone's seen 100 times, it'd be that guy.
I have, in depth, looked at every frame of this movie.
Yeah, but, like, okay, so as someone who is, like, with the movie fresh in my mind, I've seen it twice. I'm going to be real with you guys. I've seen complaints about the movie. It's like, it's slow, they talk too much. I don't know what the fuck
I don't get those complaints at all. What I remember, like, what I thought was, like, that, like, the halfway point, you was like, you started to be like, can we get a time check? And we were, like basically almost done.
Yeah, we were, like, halfway in. I was like, it's that long already? It's like, I don't know. For me, it feels fast.
I don't get the slow burn feel at all.
For me, it feels fast. Yeah, or at the very least, decent pace. Like,
I think the main complaint is that it's not really packed full of action where a lot of stuff is going on.
Yeah, no, I feel like I feel like the people that are complaining were not looking for Five Nights at Freddy's. They were looking for Jump Scare Bear the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. And then there's...
It's like, I don't think... People don't realize, even from the beginning, writing has also been part of FNAF.
Yeah.
And, like, it's also, like, why it's, like... It's also, like, why I see, like, when people say Sister Location is bad, I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. Because the whole point of Sister Location, what makes it good is the writing.
Exactly.
Yeah, if there's no writing, there's no FNAF. What's the point? What's the point? And
But no, the movie is fucking amazing.
I loved it so much. It was worth the wait for me. And people will complain about it all they want. To me, it was the FNAF movie I was hoping for. So. Yeah. There's not much I can say.
And then also, it's like people are complaining about the infamous fort scene.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It's like they are literally children. Like,
that's the thing. And people are complaining like about like, oh, why do they act so childish? I don't know. Maybe because they're kids, you know.
And beyond that, they were created for children entertainment.
Yeah,
and adults too. But that's another story.
420.
Whoa, we've been sick.
Anyway.
Dude, can we get a check? Like, what's everyone drinking today? We all got different drinks. I got a twisted tea because I am 21 years old.
I've got Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
I have RC Cola.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, speaking of what we're drinking, first of all, if you guys still had birch beer, I'd probably be drinking that. Second of all, I want to tell a little story. So I'm a little pissed right now because the local ice cream place where I live has been it's been closed for a week.
Oh no.
Why has it been closed?
So I don't know what for, but I went there one day and it's like, we're closed from the 15th to the 24th. And I'm like, I'm like, God damn it.
Maybe they're doing like construction or like remodeling.
And the reason it pisses me off so bad is because like I saw that apparently they now have a birch beer flavor, and I want to try it so bad.
That does
But
sound
I
pretty
only
good.
found out about it while they've been closed. I'm like, I want to try it, but god damn it.
Whenever you try that, you're gonna have to let us know how it was.
Yeah. It's like,
It's usually 95% of like food items nowadays
and the
is
thing,
all hype and no flavor.
Yeah.
and what everyone's hearing is like soda flavored ice cream. How's that work? And I'm like, I don't know, man. For some reason, they make it work. Like they also have here's an example. One of the things I get, like the thing I usually get from them, is a vanilla Coke milkshake,
Yeah.
and for some
I
reason,
love the cherry Coke.
and
one.
for some reason, it works. They make it work, so I
Yeah.
trust them to make the birch beer one work.
I don't see why that would be any different from the Coke.
And besides, people do fucking like, what is it, root beer floats
Yeah,
and shit,
exactly.
and birch beer is basically just root beer but better.
Yeah,
so
I've had birch beer before. It's pretty
It-
good.
I used to get it all the time.
It's-
The one place I got it from, I don't really see it there anymore, unfortunately.
yeah, it's basically just root beer but better. So like,
I've only had it once, and I remember liking it a lot.
Oh, also, I know you guys can't see, but my cat Pork Chop is here joining us. That's another big thing that happened, during the span of the last time. I got a cat.
Pork Chop, is there anything you want to say?
Remarkable.
Usually he's very yappy.
Oh, yeah.
It
he
seems
is.
as though he's mostly very happy when he's about to eat.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
He built different. Also, fun fact about Pork Chop, for those of you at home, he was born without a tail.
Yeah. He is unique. And he's also big stingy.
He's pear-shaped.
He really is. All the food goes straight to his ass. It's ridiculous.
I guess one good thing.
Real
About,
Squidward.
I guess one thing that's good about not having a tail is that you don't have to worry about stepping on it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we don't have to worry about stepping on it.
Well, also, it's kind of nice that he doesn't have the tail because it sets him apart. Because the way he looks, there's so many cats that look exactly like him. So that having no tail, I feel like sets him apart enough.
It makes him
Yeah.
unique.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's that there relic.
God, he's so.
He's
sweet,
a
though.
national treasure, as they like to say.
He's a fucking mama's boy. Do we want to get into it then?
Yeah, let's get into it because it's basically small talk anyway. We're just gonna devolve back into small talk.
Yeah, pretty much.
So let's get the main point out of the way. The main theme, the main chunk,
yeah,
and basically the way we can sum it up is, where the fuck are we now?
pretty much.
And where the hell have we been?
What's been
Exactly.
happening?
What the hell is going on?
What the hey?
Well, I guess since I already said it, well, I got a cat, Pork Chop, and also this happened first, which is I moved. Me and my boyfriend, we have our own apartment now. It's pretty nice. I like it. We've been slowly decorating it more and more and trying to have it nicer. Got the guys over here for the day, so
Yeah, first gathering of the boys since the last podcast.
I'm pretty sure that was the last time all three of us hung out together.
Man, so it's been a while.
It's been a while. But yeah, I got new house and stuff. Nate, you also moved. I can't remember if you had moved by last episode or not.
I think he was moved in
Okay.
before.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I moved to a much safer part of Hagerstown,
Fair enough.
which we live near the park. I'm not going to give out my exact location,
Yeah,
obviously.
maybe don't.
Yeah, no.
I'm not going to do that. But yeah, it's a much quieter part of town. But being in West Virginia, I feel like I just went to a completely different country or something. Wait,
It's good. Keep going.
okay, did it? Is it
No, it's still going.
Keep going.
Okay. As I was saying, this town, compared to what I had to live in, I feel like I've moved to a completely different country.
I know what you
Like
mean.
it's
no.
it's very quiet.
Yeah, no. Where you live, where we are now,
No,
it's insanely different.
Yeah, where I used to live,
It's just a lot
it was
nicer.
it was loud. It was irritating. There was
Well,
a bunch of
I even
smokers.
live in the city, and it's not really
And you-
even loud.
And where I lived, you couldn't go like 5 minutes without hearing a fucking ambulance going past your house.
Well, to be
Like,
fair,
I feel
we
like,
do have some days
I
where
feel
there's like
like-
constant
I
ambulances
feel
going
like
by.
everybody
Why-
on my street.
Why is it everyone decides to die at once?
I feel like
I don't know, it
everybody
certainly seems
on my
like they do.
street was having some sort of problem
It's like-
with an overdose.
It's like,
Ugh.
I don't know. I try not to like laugh at people's expense too much, but like you hear the ambulances go by, it's like, oh, Wednesday already?
And the thing was, this was while we were moving in.
Damn.
Comparatively, when we moved in, it was a whole lot better than it was now.
Damn.
Like when we were just moving out, it was like a total war zone out there. It was like hell on earth or something like that. It was just fucking crazy.
Damn.
Yeah.
And since we were particularly like the nice guys when it comes to the nice family when it comes to streets like that, we had security cameras, a lot of them. And we had them at different angles and different parts of the alleyway cuz I remember there was someone who basically, like, we had like a wagon or something in the back or something, or maybe they were assaulting our trash cans or something. We saw a bunch of punks outside just beating up on something. It was crazy.
Damn.
I'm glad. And then after a while, we ended up moving into my great grandmother's house, which I never would have thought I'd be living in. And that's kind of where I am now. And also, in recent weeks, I've been getting my ass kicked when it comes to these days because I've been working a lot more than I normally do.
Yeah.
I have a couple off days, but either way, I've been working a lot more than I do normally, which I guess is for the better.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But lately, with this increase of work, my mental capacity has dropped to 50, which is pretty damn low for me. Like I just feel like one simple thing, and I'm fucking off the rails. I'm fucking pissed, or I'm crying a lot, or shit.
It's like called bipolar.
It's like I feel like I'm on edge all the time.
Yeah, I know that.
I just feel like any minute I could just snap and kill someone.
For the bit, of course.
I'm very...
We're,
my gosh,
for anecdotal reasons. Yeah, welcome to the podcast where we all have mental disabilities.
We are all three of the most autistic motherfuckers you would ever meet in your life.
We're
So
autistic,
Anyway.
we wear glasses, and we have long hair.
yeah,
I
actually,
mean-
all three of us kind of do.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously my
I
hair is
grew-
not that long.
yeah, I grew mine out.
I got.
You need to dye your hair at least once.
You obviously can't see because you obviously can't see us for the podcast, but my hair is actually like
Yeah,
it's shorter, but it's straightened out.
Yeah, no, since it's been a year, this actually has happened since the last podcast. That's when I grew my hair
Oh
out.
yeah.
Just over the course of that time.
We're also thinking about maybe doing some stuff with Paper Pals later, so maybe stay tuned on Cringe O'Clock for
Probably
stuff
a
like that.
photo shoot.
Think about a photo shoot and maybe like a quick, minute short. I have some ideas. I won't talk about them here, but
Wait, when did you actually start the Paper Pals concept?
damn, what was that like?
Because like it's
2019.
That's pretty much been
2018.
pretty much ever since we met.
So yeah, probably early 2018.
I believe the series was inspired by the Strangers, right?
Briefly, it's inspired by a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
Well, now it's kind of worked its way up to being a
A more original project.
yeah, and also it's gone more of like a murder mystery route
Also,
of what I have in mind.
Yeah. Not to mention, it's got some lore for the.
Oh God, yeah.
It's got some lore for the Cringe O'Clock cinematic universe. Why, Pork Chop? Why are you poking my ass?
Damn.
oh my goodness!
You really like that, I guess.
swear.
Oh, also technically, well, not only did the FNAF movie came out, but we got FNAF VR 2.
Oh
That was also a thing.
Yeah, Help
Help
Wanted
Wanted.
2.
Yeah.
Help Wanted 2.
We've just for one period, we had like 3 different instances where we were just getting bombarded, carpet bombed
Yeah.
with
Wow.
FNAF related
Yeah,
stuff.
we got slapped with Ruin, Help Wanted 2, and the movie.
Yeah, and then this August we got that Into the Pit game coming out too.
Yeah, for the anniversary.
That's
and then
super exciting.
and then there's like 2 different things that Click Team is doing.
Oh yeah.
Click Team.
Yeah.
I did the pit. I feel lost. I feel like every time I try and get like in touch with what's going on now, that more and more stuff keeps adding, and that's more stuff I have to put into my brain.
Yeah, welcome to the club. Anyway,
If anyone remembers the second episode of the podcast, I think it was, where we talked about Five Nights at Freddy's, Zach over here, he gave me like the entire fucking story of how everything came together.
I have a video for that now.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, no, I have a whole video of Five Nights at Freddy's 1 through 6 recap on my channel.
It's
Nice.
like everything that you need to know before and everything that you need to know now, or like
The first video was a prototype of the concept. It was basically everything you need to know before Security Breach. And obviously,
Yeah.
I released that way back before Security Breach came out. And then during the year between the podcast episodes, I did what is essentially a remake, and I focused mainly on FNAF 1 through 6. So the first game all the way to
Season 1.
Yeah, so the first game all the way to Pizza Sim and UCN, because UCN is basically a pizza simulator DLC.
Yeah, that's fair.
In fact, UCN was literally going to be in Pizza Sim until Scott realized this is going to destroy the engine if I do this. So he separated them.
Something I've been doing an insane amount of is fucking buckshot roulette. I tell you what, I don't know how many hours I have on this game, but it's probably an insane amount. Because I think I have full on become addicted to this game. Any chance I get, if I'm not like busy doing something, it's me playing buckshot roulette, and I just fully consumed my life at this point.
Yeah. Let me think. Where am I now?
Honestly.
I mean, for the most part, I'm in the same place. I'm kind of like making money now. So,
That's cool.
gaming on my YouTube channel should become more prominent. The main issue I'm facing is let me give a little teaser, a little teaser out to the to the audience right now. I am working on a couple FNAF-based projects, and for like a solid month, I was basically doing nothing but working on one of them. And I sort of fairly recently kind of hit that like burnout phase, and I kind of stopped doing pretty much everything.
Damn.
I haven't really recovered yet. And it's like, I've been having kind of a bit of trouble trying to get back into it. And of course, stuff going on at my house isn't really helping either. We actually just repainted, a few of the walls. So like for a few days, the hallways were kind of a nightmare to navigate. Get this, my shower needs to be fixed.
What happened?
So, my shower is leaking, and in like the really bad way. Like when it's turned on, the water goes all the way through the floor and drips into the floor below it through the roof.
Oh yeah, that's not good.
So it needs to be fixed, and because of that, I can't use it.
Damn.
Yeah, no, it sucks.
Workshops behind you. Be careful.
But for the most part, I'm doing the same thing. Yeah, like I am kind of having trouble getting back on it, and that's also why like my YouTube channel has been absent for a couple months, is because I'm really not having the time or energy to really do anything. Like
That's fair.
the
I've
next-
definitely been there.
like the next video I want to do is literally just me talking about this game. It's just me talking about a game because I basically just want to reach out to the dev and be like, hey, can you if you're willing to, would you be willing to like release a patch or something? Because I ended up finding out the final boss of this game is like literally impossible.
Damn.
So it's a game. So to give some context without really spoiling anything, the context of this game is that it's based on like learning and dodging attacks, and like it's supposed to be pretty hard but like learnable, kind of like, you know, Dark Souls.
Yeah.
And the final boss naturally is like the ultimate test of that ability by basically being a one-hit kill. And it's like, you know, it's like, yeah, that sounds a little harsh, but as someone who played through the game, I understand it's like it's basically the escalation of the game. It feels more natural than it sounds coming out of my mouth.
Yeah.
It sounds like a bullet hell kind of thing.
It is part bullet hell, yeah. And the only problem is that the final boss's attacks, it kind of fall off of the concept, because like the concept is like, you know, it's difficult but it's fair. The final boss unfortunately kind of falls off of that concept. Like a lot of the attacks, there's just fundamental flaws to it. The main one though is basically it's what I call the attack the goat stampede. So basically what happens is goats start on the right and they go to the left, and you have to dodge them because if they hit you, you die. But the problem is they go so fucking fast that even if you are also going left to maximize dodging time, you really can't react to it.
Damn.
And it's like, it's such a shame because this is a game that I want to be good. This is a game, you know, I want to make a video about. I want to promote. I want to say, hey guys, check out this game, you know, get it, right?
Yeah.
And I want to do that. The problem is with that fundamental flaw, I can't do that. So I want to make a video that essentially reaches out to the. I want to make a video that essentially like reaches out to the dev, and I want to say, hey, this is kind of a problem.
Yeah.
You
That
know?
makes sense. Yeah.
And but like, even though that's such a simple video, and it would probably like we're talking like it probably would not even be 10 minutes. Like it's such a short voiceover thing that I would have to do. I've done plenty of them. But like even that I have not really been feeling like making.
That's fair.
It's like I don't know.
I know that struggle to want to do stuff, but not just have the energy to do it. I've been like that, especially lately.
I will say on the bright side though, because like that's all been like negative Nancy stuff. On the bright side, I did participate in a challenge recently, and through that challenge, I have met a new group of buddies that I now basically talk to on a daily basis, and they seem, you know, they're really fun. A couple of the guys I've started.
Sorry about that.
Okay, I accidentally tapped the wrong spot.
I didn't even know you could pause it.
Anyway, that's probably going to sound like an awkward cut in the recording, so we're sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But
Should be okay.
what I was saying was, I've gotten to know, you know, a couple of these dudes. You know, it's like there's one of them who typically hits me up regularly. He's like, "Hey, you want to hop in the VC?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then we just talk, and you know, we get into like we go on like such rampages that this VC will literally pretty much every time last until at least 2 a.m.
Damn.
And we go on like such stupid rampages. Like I remember one where we just went to Google and laughed at any stupid bootleg merch we could find.
Nice.
Like we found these, like, for example, we found this fucking I found, for example, this picture. It's figurines of Mario and Luigi,
Okay.
but they're like super buff.
What?
Oh.
And it's like, what the hell is this? And that's not even scratching the surface of the bullshit that we found.
God.
And this is the type of shit that this VC basically devolves to every time we get in it.
That's fair.
And like I said, I met these guys through a challenge. Not to shill and promote or anything, but it was a challenge hosted by the development team of Forsaken, which is a mod of FNAF AR, which has since
That's shut down like a week or two ago.
yeah.
But Forsaken?
Yeah.
No,
Or
FNAF,
FNAF
AR. Like the actual special
Like
delivery
that's
game.
gone. You cannot play it anymore.
Yeah,
Oh.
so Forsaken is all that's left of it, basically. And
It's honest. I just gotta say, that's a fucking shame that FNAF AR had to go down that road. I just feel like there was a lot
They
more
had to shut
potential
it
there.
down.
yeah, and so it was a challenge held by the development team. I got within the top 6, and that's where I fell off, just outside the top 5. And it's like, they were like, whatever. It's like, hey, you lasted over 24 hours. You got in the top 6. So we're gonna give you some stuff for the effort you put in. And that's how I got about 20 items in the game.
Oh, nice.
I got like 20 items in the game from doing that. But it's also through that challenge that I met the people that I'm talking about, that I'm in the server with and I get on the VC with. And by the time it was like top 11, it was that group of 11 for like a really long time, and we all got to know each other.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Dark jokes are a lot like food and water. Not everybody gets it.
That is really, really depressing. Oh my god, that was it. I knew there was one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that's the Quiet on Set documentary with old Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Now, all right, I want, before I get into this, I want to give like a fair, like, I guess, disclaimer. If topics of like sexual abuse bothers you at all, maybe don't listen to this part. But Quiet on Set is a documentary with a lot of like old school like Nickelodeon shows, like like the live action shows like iCarly, Sam and Cat, Victorious. There's a lot of others, but those were the main three I watched.
Mm-hmm.
And the series creator, Dan Schneider, was just the biggest fucking creep like imaginable. Like, if any of you remember that one time the Nickelodeon logo was a foot, that's because of this guy. This is the creep with the foot fetish.
Yeah.
And it's just the most despicable, just fucked. It's just, ugh. Like,
yeah, I'm also going to say this. This is why, if the iCarly reboot gets their 3rd season greenlit, I mean, for all I know, it might have. I
haven't checked in a while.
Yeah, I haven't checked. I mean, for all I know, it might have. But wherever it's at, what it does next, they just legitimately should not have to put his name on it. Like, they shouldn't. It's like, I get it, copyright laws, but copyright laws should also say, if you're a fucking weirdo and you do some illegal shit, you don't get to hold copyright.
Well, then there was the thing where it's like, he basically said, like Dan Schneider said in an interview, I'm paraphrasing, obviously. It's something along the lines of, he isn't in jail because he would take all of Nickelodeon down with him. Like fucking Jeffrey Epstein style. Like, you're all going down with me. Like, that's nuts, because it's just like, how... why?
It's like, be a fucking man about what you did.
It's just like...
It's like,
It's bad enough that you did it, but you're still continuing to lie about it.
you're still continuing to be a bitch about it.
Exactly.
It doesn't
It's
help
like-
that
Because if you watch any crime documentary type shit. It's like, it doesn't matter. It's like when you talk about like the real serious crimes, like serial killers or like, you know, pedophiles, it's like
Yeah.
you find out it's like they are really just losers. Like,
What can you get from a kid that you can't get from an adult? All right, I don't get it.
it's
What drives you to be like this?
I,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
it's like-
quite understand either.
yeah, no, and like specifically about Dan Schneider is like he's also got to be such a little bitch about the fact that people know this about him.
Yeah.
Because like I know this is probably just a wild thing to say, but we talked about FNAF a couple times. One of the Fanverse series, one of the devs, Jonachrome, he was also outed for doing some
yeah.
creepy shit. But at least when he got caught, he was man enough to take responsibility for what he fucking did and left on his own.
And then
At least
meanwhile,
he did.
meanwhile, Dan Schneider's just continuing to hurt people.
At least he did that. At least he had the courtesy to do that. But Dan
Yeah.
Schneider's got to be a little bitch.
Even that guy, even he didn't bribe people to not say anything about it.
And then that's the thing. I know I won't get too into it also because I don't have all the information in my head and I don't want to spread false stuff. But I do know because like I got to be honest. I didn't know about this stuff for like a while. Like I always knew Dan Schneider was a creep, but like because like there was like a bunch of stuff where like they tried to pay off all the actors with hush money.
Like
$30,000.
$30,000.
I remember listening to Jeanette McCurdy's podcast, who plays Sam, and she got some of the worst of it, man. It's just
Yeah, and that's why
that's why she wasn't in the reboot.
that's why she's not in the reboot. She's probably not gonna be ever.
We should check out and see if there's any new stuff because I remember us both really liking it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing,
Yeah,
and it's
it's such a damn shame that it has to have such a shitty creator.
and it's also like the reboot also it understands that anyone who watched iCarly is an adult now.
Yeah,
Like anyone who did watch iCarly, they're an adult now, and the show actually understands that and adapted its humor accordingly,
Yeah.
and that's amazing.
that's what I feel.
That's
I wish more of them would do that.
That's understanding your audience.
yeah.
Here's the thing. One thing you got to know about Hollywood, there is a lot of great art made by shitty people.
Yeah, I mean that's just a fact of
Yeah.
life. If there, like, that's just a fact of life. If there's something you really like and it's really creative, there's like just a genuine chance nowadays that the creator has probably done something freaky.
Ugh.
And it's like it's always the good shit. Like
I know.
I actually know of a particular guy.
it's like why are horrible people always the creative ones? I don't get it.
I don't either.
Yeah, but like the moving on. Do we want to do that? Do we want to move on from?
Yeah.
Did you have something you wanted to say? I knew you said something.
I wanted to say something, but I don't want to talk about this
That's
anymore.
fair. It's probably better to
Let's
move on
move on
from
to
this
something.
topic.
So
anyways.
moving on.
I don't want to end it on that.
So moving on, the idea of like how this went down kind of reminds me of another horror game that's kind of been hitting the scenes recently because it kind of has like a similar idea to it.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, to be fair, this game released before the documentary came out. It's kind of just a weird coincidence, I guess. But this is a horror game also about a studio with some really cryptic backgrounds eventually getting outed, right?
Yeah.
So there's a new horror game kind of going around. I mean, it more or less happened about a month ago, I think, but it's Shipwrecked 64. And basically the premise of it, it's like a recreation of like Nintendo 64 games, and it's done pretty well. And basically the actual plot of the game is that someone got their hands on like a cartridge of like a really old Nintendo 64 game that got pulled within like 3 days, and he basically used its code, reconstructed it, and put it up. And you find out by playing the game that the company that made it were like really fishy.
Mhm.
So the people making so like the people making like the actual Shipwreck game were hired by like another company to do so, and this parent company were like the owners of the characters that they were using.
Mm-hmm.
So think of it like if Mario 64 was developed by like this company that Nintendo hired to do it. It's kind of like that. It's
That
like
makes sense.
like Nintendo for example, Nintendo still owns the Mario characters, but it's like it would be like if a different company was still the ones actually developing it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
why-
kind of that sort of situation.
and that's like why if you like play the game, it might seem very different from the usual games that you would play.
Yeah. So like that's kind of like that's like the best hypothetical I could give you to explain what I mean. So like, and basically what happens is the reason. So the actual Shipwreck game doesn't exactly turn out to be what was intended or pitched because the main developer had like a sick son who was like dying of like cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and he wanted to make a video game for his son to enjoy, but because he was doing that, the game wasn't exactly turning out the way he like pitched it or designed it, and that essentially results in the parent company pulling the plug on the funding,
Mm-hmm.
and that really pisses the dude off. And eventually, throughout a spiral of events and also some like weird freaky shit about like, I don't know, people getting, there was like an incident, there's like a completely unrelated incident where it's like murders happened at like an attraction run by the parent company and shit, and it's like really weird. No, I remember what happened. There was a series of murders at like an attraction the parent company used, and what happened was to get revenge on the parent company for pulling their funding. The head developer with the sick son got into the security cameras, got the footage of those murders happening, and snuck it into the 64 game so that when it got finished and shipped out, people would see that. And he essentially outed them. And basically the plot of the game is like eventually this same head developer ended up like taking his own life over the grief, and his son found those games and basically outed the parent company for everything they did.
Damn.
And it's like goddamn.
You know what this
Pretty
whole
good.
thing is reminding me of?
What?
This whole like thing. I know there's very little relation to it, but all this kind of reminds me of the forgotten Nintendo 64 game Catastrophe Crow. Do you guys know about that
Yeah.
game?
That's like I think that's like another. It's
I
like
watched 8-Bit Ryan play it.
I've watched the game theory video on that.
anyway. But yeah, that's it's just kind of a thing I remembered because of it, like the general, like I said, the whole Nickelodeon documentary situation kind of reminded me of that.
Yeah.
Of like the premise of that game. And again, it's like it's a wild coincidence because, you know, Shipwreck 64 has been a game for actually a while.
Yeah, I remember when the demo got released.
Yeah, it's been a thing for a while, and the plot in the demo was basically the exact same thing. Like, this is how the game was intended to be for a long time.
Yeah.
And it was only recently that it was just only the actual full game only released recently, so, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and then it's like by coincidence, then the Nickelodeon documentary came out.
Yeah.
Just how it's weird how everything just comes together like that.
Yeah.
Just like how we finally got together.
Yeah.
It filmed this episode for you guys.
Yeah.
Jeez,
Don't try hard dramatize it. Anyway.
Jeez, we're going on for almost 40 minutes.
We
Mhm.
could probably end this one here, to be honest.
This is going to be the
a
second.
little shorter episode
Yeah.
to bring it all back.
Yeah,
if
to
we-
get back into the swing
you know,
of doing it.
Yeah,
well-
if you guys want longer videos,
Well, Well, before we do decide to end it, y'all got any other just like interesting things that have been? Because like I said, this is basically small talk too. So similar to how I basically just went on a whole rant about shipwreck because it's something that caught my eye. You guys got anything like that?
I mean, to be honest, I've kind of shared the extent of it.
I will say something. It's not really the most interesting thing in the world, but I did want to. But it was something I was going to say after what Zach said. If you guys are wondering where the hell my channel's been lately, I'm trying to make a video where I basically told a story. I'm not going to go into the story itself, but I will say though, it was a time where I got sick from a Kool-Aid packet.
Okay.
Like the packet nearly poisoned me. But that's for another thing. The reason why, though, I haven't been working on it is actually for a multitude of reasons. First of all, my working schedule, it's very on and off. Like one day I might be working, one day I might be not. But it's also because I'm starting to lose faith in my own channel. Like I feel like I'm not pleasing my audience enough. Wait a minute. Let me rephrase that.
No, we know what you meant. Anyway.
Yeah, that's basically where I've been.
Anyway, I do have one idea about something we could end off with.
Okay.
Do you want to give the people listening a little idea of like what we plan to do with Cringe O'Clock going forward? Because the channel kind of did, like at the beginning of the year, remember we did kind of do an updated rebranding.
That is true. Yeah. Sorry, hold on. So yeah, we are gonna try to do more. I know we said we were gonna try to do more film stuff. I know we're gonna have Puppet Squad return very soon.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, Puppet Squad's been on the burner for a really long time.
We're about ready to get back into it. Hopefully, also Bill Bush. I want to do some more of those in the summertime. Maybe.
If you want us to, you can have these guys force me to play a variety of different horror games.
Oh yeah, that is the thing we talked about.
I really don't like horror games.
I have the design of our clock around here. We could go like around and talk about each thing if you want.
Why not? We'll end it off on this.
Okay, well, obviously, we just said what we plan to do with Puppet Squad. It's like we do have plans to bring it back. We have an episode idea and everything.
We have a lot of episode ideas, but we know exactly what the next
It's just a matter of getting to it. The next thing on our wedge is the 3 a.m. videos.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So a little thing about that. If any of you listening are Cringe O'Clock fans, there's a video, soon to be 2 actually, because we have one planned, that you may or may not notice might be somewhat related. But we'll get that'll you'll figure that out when you figure that out. Just know there's
big things planned.
And Paper Pals, we kind of already touched on that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like we do some shorts to like
Like I said, we might do one tonight, maybe.
Like Paper Pals, for the most part, for all intents and purposes, is meant to be like one of our bigger projects. It's supposed to be a movie.
Yeah.
We just like do shorts to
try to explain more of the characters and just remind you that they exist.
We also
here's one, Macro Cult.
Yeah, that's right. That is. I won't say what it is, but we do intend to have Nate join the series.
Yeah.
As a character.
We have plans for him to join the series. It's just a matter of like, I think the main thing that usually gets in our way when we're recording that is those costumes are very,
very hot.
Yeah, they're stuffy, so they sweat a lot.
Damn, we should have done that today. It's freezing out today.
I do. Okay, here's another one, and this is something I actually wanted to talk to you about. One thing, the next widget on the clock is puppy eyes.
That's right.
And that's something that actually I looked through our channel. We don't really put much of that content up on Cringe O'Clock. It mostly goes up on your channel.
Yeah.
And something I wanted to talk to you about is if you wanted to start like porting that stuff over.
We could do what we do with Bill Bush and upload them on both,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, yeah, but like the stuff we already have on your
Yeah.
channel
That might work.
is like start porting it over, get like Puppy Eyes actually on Cringe O'Clock.
It would be nice to bring more attention. I know the next thing is Barreltown, and I want to briefly like just I need to say this out loud. I know that forever there has been only one episode left, and I know exactly what I want to do for that episode. It's just a matter of doing it because it needs a very specific stunt that's going to be hard to pull off. I don't want you both know what it is.
Yeah.
I just don't want to say it now because
Do I?
big
Yeah.
spoilers.
And Barreltown, okay, Barreltown is another thing that's been solely on your channel.
But
But
we
it's-
do plan when we have all episodes, we're going to put it all together as a movie and upload that on Cringe O'Clock.
Yeah, that's been the plan for a long time.
Yeah.
Next up is something we've both been wanting to do the next episode of for a while because it was a one-off, Anima Sola.
Yeah.
What is this? What is Anima Sola?
It's the analog horror we did.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Like the different monsters.
Yeah, this has been something we've been wanting to. If any of you have not seen the first episode,
I definitely recommend it.
it's on Cringe O'Clock. It's called Classified. The episode
Prepare
is called
for a lot of reading.
Classified Documents. Yeah, I did real research into all the shit that you see there,
Yeah.
and basically we've been wanting to. It's been a long time. Like it's been.
There's a lot we can do with that series.
Yeah, we've been wanting to continue it because it should be relatively easy to make as well.
Yeah.
But it's just a matter of we haven't really. The next thing on the clock. This is just something we do. It's stupidity compilations. Like,
Just fun, random bullshit.
like it's been a while since we've done the last
some of them
one.
are actually out of context clips from our other videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done the last one, but it's just something we do. Like, and I had to sort of for this specific one because I'm the one who designed the new logo. For this specific one, I had to change it up to make it
Yeah.
copyright free.
I remember us trying to brainstorm what we could do for this.
And then the next one is CBC News.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like it's essentially a stupidity compilation, but with like
It's a themed stupidity compilation, basically.
Where we actually do it in like news clips.
Yeah, and I won't say why because this is just a little to sprinkle it onto you
Make
guys.
your theories as you please.
But I will say there's a specific reason that CBC News on the Cringe O'Clock logo is opposite to Paper Pals. There's a reason for that.
Oh.
Do with that what you will.
Next, the two more. The next one is Sponsor Spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's something we've been wanting to continue for a long time, but it's just a matter of we have not hung out in a while.
Yeah. Once we start regularly hanging out again, I think we will definitely continue that series.
We've
again.
also just conceptualized the idea of we just do it remotely.
Yeah, it
Because,
would be pretty easy to do. We just go it would be no different. We all go off and film our own stuff with our own cameras, and then we just hop on a group chat and spin the wheel and watch them.
yeah, we just hop on like the group chat in our server.
It would really be no different.
It wouldn't really be any different at
Yeah.
all. And then the last thing, Bill Bush.
Of course, pretty much our newest series on Cringe O'Clock, I'd say,
Yeah.
takes place in the Puppet Squad
Yeah,
universe.
we didn't really intend for it to become its own thing.
No, but we have a lot more plans.
But it just
anyways,
kind of happened because we had a lot of ideas for stuff we could do with those characters.
I mean, hell, Bill Bush started in being just in Puppet Squad.
Yeah,
so
it was just
it
a
just-
Puppet Squad thing, and then we're like, we'll do like a video with
Yeah.
these characters as like a fun callback, and then that just kept evolving, and eventually
we have so much
This is
stuff
like-
planned behind the scenes. Like, I know it seems like across all of our channels, we may not upload a lot, but we're constantly talking behind
Yeah,
the scenes
and
about
like
new stuff.
And that's the thing is like the intended Puppet Squad spinoff was High Boys. That's something we haven't even started yet.
Yeah.
And like it is heavily related to the plot
Yeah.
of Bill Bush, which is like
No,
strange. So
This
we
is
got
like
we got like this trifecta of Puppet
yeah.
Squad.
it's like this is like our version of Breaking Bad almost.
It
like-
all takes place in the same
Like
universe.
it's like Breaking Bad, then Better Call Saul, and I don't know if there's like a third thing that's like that. But ours is Bill Bush.
I mean, there was
and
El
then-
Camino, but that was a movie.
yeah.
Then there was Bill Bush into no, it was Puppet Squad into Bill Bush.
Yeah, and then
and it's also a business too.
Into the Bill Bush verse.
there's also one more thing. A piece of content that I feel like the fans would like to know about. This can be the cherry on top to end it off.
All right.
So, so the podcast goes up on your channel.
Yeah.
And the people on your channel probably know that, some of your most popular stuff is your hex stuff.
Yeah.
And part of your hex stuff is a little series we plan to continue. It's kind of like Animasola. We've done one, and it's kind of just been sitting there since.
Yeah.
But we plan to do more.
Hey, Daco fucking commented on it, so it's not that lame.
And that would be, I guess what we could call it is the off-brand hex parodies.
Yeah. We did the Hex Chapter 1, but it's a shitty Netflix adaptation.
Yeah. And we plan to continue those. We plan to, because Hex is partnered with FNAF, we plan to do sort of a spin-off.
We're gonna do like Hex, but it's a crappy FNAF parody.
Yeah, and
I hope to be a part of it.
yeah,
I'm sure you will.
and that's the thing. Is like we plan to do more of those, and this is an idea I've been wanting to pitch to you. That is much like Puppy Eyes. Something I've been considering is also porting those to Cringe O'Clock.
That could work.
Because
I don't see why not.
Because we've already done like Monk surviving in Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And we can continue to do those.
Yeah. I think they would. We could say they're in the same universe then.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna do the FNAF. They're gonna do the FNAF one, and I also know the second comic has been out for a while. We have an idea of a parody for that one already.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really weird adaptation of the concept.
But basically, just in general, there's a lot of stuff coming soon to look forward to, and I don't want you guys to think that we're just leaving you in the dark. We wanted to do this really as an update because we've been talking a lot about this.
Oh yeah, here's another thing. This is another thing that's kind of been left in the dark for Cringe O'Clock fans for a while. Around the clock.
Around the clock.
That is true. I remember we tried to record. We did record another episode. I'm sure you still have that footage somewhere.
I do still have the footage, but it's like over a year old.
I remember didn't you fix the issue we had with it semi recently? Like you figured it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fixed the issue we were having. Of course, that doesn't matter now because we probably just hang out here now.
Yeah.
So what we'll probably have to, so for Cringe O'Clock fans who have also, like, if by God's gift in heaven, like the skin of a four-leaf clover, you right now are someone listening to the podcast who is not only a Cringe O'Clock fan, but you've seen our Around the Clock Let's Play and have been wondering where the fuck it's been. What we're probably going to do is we're probably just going to get Around the Clock on this computer, play up to the point where we were.
It would make the most sense.
And to continue filming that here.
Yeah. I mean, it would be pretty easy. You and me could just sit in the chairs. You could, like, bring your webcam over, put it on the TV, and then we have the same recording software, so we record it the exact same way.
Yeah. And
so yeah, maybe expect that.
Yeah, so too. That's just something I wanted to. That's a cherry on top. I wanted to add it to like. We know what it's like when people do stuff and then they just stop it. And
I hate that shit too. And that's why we are going to try to make it a point to come back to it. We're not going to leave it there forever.
Everything we've been leaving in the dark, we're going to try and bring it back.
That's going to be our main priority this year, really.
Yeah. 2024, Cringe O'Clock's main goal, we're going to bring back everything we've been leaving in the dark.
And also, last thing I'll say is, hey, get the channel to 100 subscribers and we got something real fucking special.
Yeah. Once we hit 100 subscribers, we're going to start labbing out a special project.
Not only that, the last thing I'll say, actually, the biggest project we will ever work on.
Mm-hmm. That like this will probably take like
it's gonna take at least a year or two to do. It's not gonna be no easy task.
Yeah, no.
But it will be worth it for the product we want.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, I think we'll go ahead and end it there. We've been going for about 54 minutes, which I think is a pretty good episode to round back to. Just a little under an hour.
We've had longer, we've had shorter. Fairly average episode, really.
But we're going to try to get back into the swing of doing this. I don't know when the next episode of the podcast is going to be, but we wanted to do this just so you guys could have some updates.
Yeah, and it's about damn time that you actually get to hear all our voices in the same room again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess on that note, we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.